Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Now today we've partnered with ESkute. This company is not to be confused with eScooter. For some of my previous viewers may have watched the videos. But in today's video we're going to be giving you a review of the bike, talking about its specifications and a general overview of what you can expect if you purchase the eSkute bike. A link will be in the description down below to do that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the controls on the bike. So they're located to the left handlebar. Now to turn the bike on, all you need to do is make sure the battery's in. And there's a little power button underneath here. You want to press and hold that until you see the lights light up. Everything will light up on here. Once it goes to 0, you know the bike's turned on. And then you've got the minus and plus button here. So these will take you up on the modes. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the maximum, and 5 will take you to 15.5 miles an hour. That's about 25 kilometers an hour here. And then you have the front light button to turn the front light on. I won't do it now because it's daytime, won't be much to show you. And then you have obviously the button to turn it on and your control button here. So talking about the display, compared to other e-bikes, this display is a nice LCD, colourful display which really lights up in the dark and you can see what's going on in front of you. So at this top here you have the green bar. Now that indicates how much charge you got left. Each green bar represents roughly about 20% battery, so that's a good indication of when you need to stop and maybe charge. Then underneath you have the miles per hour. You can convert this to kilometers an hour, but since we're in the UK, miles per hour is the most universal one to use. And as said, you'll get about 15.5 miles an hour top speed on the bike. And then underneath you have the pedal assist system. There are 5 modes. 5 is the highest, which will take you to the top speed of the bike. And then underneath that will indicate the current trip mileage. And then you have the full overview of the whole bike on the mileage on the next one along. So you have an integrated battery on the eSkute bike. But for those of you that don't have access to external charging, it isn't to worry because this battery can be removed and charged remotely. So all you need to do is see here, you can put your key in here. And you see to go right it locks and left to unlock. So I'm going to go left to unlock it. Before I do that, I'm just going to turn the bike off. Make sure it is turned off before you do that. And then you're just going to switch it left. And you can see that sort of popped up a bit there. And then once you've gone left, the battery just slides out of the bike. And the battery's here. So talk about the battery specs. As you can see, the voltage is 36 volts. It's got a capacity of 14.5 amps. And a complete power ratio of 522 watts. When you're storing it, just make sure that you put it back in the bike the right way. So you want to get these little clips to go down there, and then the battery will go back in. So to put the battery back in, leave the key in for a moment. It's a little bit fiddly because of the frame, but once you put it in, you'll hear the click. Once you've heard the click, just push it down, and then twist it to the lock position. Okay, so the gear system on here is a Shimano 7-speed, as you can see, and it indicates to which gear you're going to be in. So to go up a gear, you just simply press the plus button. You can see I'm in gear 6, but to demonstrate, this will take me up to 7. And to go down a gear, you just press this button once, or again if you want to go to 5th, and then that'll take you down the gears. Just bear in mind, you want to be between 5th and 7th gear to get that 15.5 miles an hour out the bike. Otherwise, if you're in any lower of a gear, it will only take you to about 10 miles an hour top speed. Okay, so this motor complies with EAPC regulations, which is the electrical bikes to make it road legal without a license. It has a rated wattage of 250 watts, and it's very powerful going up hills and just getting off from the mark, really. So on the eSkute bike, you can see it has front and obviously rear disc brakes. Now, from the bikes I've ridden previously and reviewed previously, now these aren't the best brakes. The disc could be a little bit larger, so could the pads, but it brings you to a stop, but you just need to be on the brake handle a little bit earlier to bring you to a safe stop. So these tyres are 27.5 by 2.10, and as you can see, they're built for off-roading, mountain biking, so that means you can bring this bike on the road and off the road. So it's just great that you can use it for a bit of both. So you have the gear system down here, which is again is a Shimano 7-speed gear. And now one other feature you have on the bike is this little handy feature here. Now that will protect, if you do drop the bike, it won't damage the gears. So I really like what ESkute have done for this. So the bike here has the gear system. As you can see, it's 7-speed Shimano gears, which really good quality and really great company, Shimano, and they're really well known for maintaining high standards for bicycle gears. So the bike comes fitted with the chain when you assemble it, as you saw in our assembly video. And this bike has hardly been used, but it's got a really good quality chain on it with chain links. So it means that you can go for thousands of miles without needing a chain replacement. You've got front and rear reflectors, but for the video we're going to show you just the rear reflectors because they do the same thing. Now, what I really like about these is when you're driving at night time and visibility is poor, when drivers put their headlights on you, they'll reflect and just create better visibility for you on the road. So really nice feature on the spokes. So this is something that's really different to all the other bikes I've reviewed so far. As you can see, the pedals have got reflectors on them. So when you're pedaling, again, nighttime riding, cars will put their headlights on you and it just gives you that better visibility, and they'll retro reflect, making you stand out on the road. So it's really nice. They have reflectors on both sides of the pedals. It's a great feature on the bike. So the bike has front and rear mud guards. So, mud guards are really, really good for stopping all the dirt coming up your backside, just making sure you have a nice ride without getting too dirty. And it also protects the bike as well. So on the front mud guard, it stops all the mud splattering up to the frame of the bike and just keeps it really nice and clean, that clean finish. So the bike comes with a seat that can be adjusted. So I will demonstrate how you can adjust the seat on the bike. Now it's adjusted for my rider height, but obviously you've got people who are smaller and taller. So to adjust it, all you need to do is release this bolt, and you can feel that went straight down. Once it's gone straight down, I'm just going to show you the saddle itself. So on the back of the saddle here, you have a mark to where you can adjust it to. So you don't want it past either of these points. So for the adjustment, you want it for the maximum height here and for the lowest height at number 12. So obviously, if I put that in, just going to put it around this way to show you. So that's about the maximum height, and then this is about the lowest that you want it. So I'm going to put it on the lowest for myself, and you can just tighten it up by pushing it back in. Now I'm quite tall, I'm around about 5'8", 9", so this bike is meant for people who are quite large and tall, but if you are on the smaller size, this bike will still be great for you. So again, on this bike, you've got a really nice matte finish, all over matte black finish. We've also got quite a large frame in the middle. Now this frame is quite large because of the battery. It's to protect the battery from harm. And it's got some weight to it, the bike, but the large frame just really adds to that nice finish and makes it stand out from the rest of the bikes on the market. So as you can see, the bike's got front dual suspension on it. The suspension can be adjusted for the rider, and all you need to do is just open up the suspension and then lock it, and then you've got your fluid on the other side here if you need to replace it. But you just open it up and lock it to the rider's height and weight. As you can see, there's quite a lot of wires coming from the front of the bike. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I really like what they've done about it. They've put them all together and just tied them up all together, and it just makes it look really neat and tidy, especially with the black wrapping around. As you can see, these wires are coming from the display, controls and gears, but they're all sort of together and tied, and then that nicely goes into the frame of the bike. I'm going to demonstrate the front light. When you're wanting to use a light, just make sure the bike is turned on to the on position on the display. So on the display here, you've got a button here which you can use. It has a little symbol of a beam, like a full beam. Just press that once, and then you will see the light come on here. And on the display, there's going to be a little icon on the right-hand side of the battery bar that indicates that the light is on. So this is a really nice feature of the bike, and it just shows you from behind whether the light is turned on and off, and then you can just turn it off by pressing the button. thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video of the ESkute bike. Again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below in the description. A link to the product will be in the description down below if you're interested in buying one. They're currently on the market for about £800, £900 discounted. They retail brand new for £1,300. They're on offer at the moment from the merchant. This price is subject to change. But overall, this is a really nice e-bike if you're looking to get into e-biking. But for now, I'll see you in my next YouTube video.